Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs. I want to talk to you about my latest course, the Fine Art Masterclass course. This course took me 7 years to make, and there's only one course you ever want to buy from me. This is it, the Fine Art Masterclass course. What it is basically, I have published 6 coffee table books over the last 7 years. I'm going to show you from all the different books the best photos that I took, how I shot them. I'm going to give you the raw files and how I retouch them using 2019 techniques, Lightroom, Photoshop, Aura, everything, all my workflow. If you follow my YouTube channel, this is a much more in-depth. We are talking 24 different projects. You're also going to get like a masterclass in business on how to get better exposure for your photography, how to get better exposure in social media, how to get published in magazines, how to get into galleries, and how to get into book deals. This is at the end, this is like bonus videos. I'm also going to show you how to print your photos locally and how to work with on-web printers. All right, so let me show you the different projects. Over 25 different projects we are going to do in this course. So starting off with my Paris black and white book, which was released in 2013. This is a photo, this is the cover, and we're going to start off with the Arc de Triomphe photo. This photo was shot with a Canon 5D Mark II over 10 years ago, and I'm going to show you how we get this result by using Aurora HDR and Lightroom and Photoshop and blending everything together. Then I'm going to show you my most famous panorama of the Eiffel Tower. This is one photo, this is another photo, this is a third photo, and this is the final result, the black and white fine art. If you want to take your photography to the next level, if there's one course you need to buy from me, that is it. I promise you, if you follow all these 25 projects, your level of photography is going to explode in terms of shooting and retouching. Let's carry on. The next one we're going to do is my black and white New York book. We're going to do this project. This is a long exposure photo of New York, and this is the final black and white. I studied a lot Ansel Adams works. I'm going to share you exactly how he does this type of black and white. Then we're going to take this metro photo that I took the last day I was in New York and how I turned it into this fine art black and white. Next, this is the back cover of the book. It's the famous Brooklyn shot of the Manhattan Bridge. This is the before and this is the after. Very, very specific black and white techniques you're gonna learn. Then this one, the Brooklyn Bridge with a lot of fog. This is the before, and I added some texture in the sky. I'm gonna show you a whole bunch of techniques I've never teach ever on this one, and this is the final result. Then we go over to Venice, Italy. This is the cover of the Venice book, and we're gonna do some carnival shot. This is the before and after. This is another before and another after. It is really tricky when you have to retouch human beings. The workflow is a little different. Then we're going to go some extreme long exposure with this photo. I'll show you exactly how I shot it. This is the final retouch photo. This is another 6 minutes long exposure. This is the final result. Also, this is one of my most iconic shots of Venice. This is the before and this is the after. Another one, this is another before and another after. Then we're going to do a Vertorama. This is the final result of the stitching of the different photos, and that's the final retouching. Last but not least, I'm going to show you how to do long exposure with sunset, which is really tricky. That's the before and that's the final photo. So a lot of projects in Venice. So next, we're going to go to Los Angeles, California. I'm not only going to show you how to do this cover. This is, by the way, the before and the after. And this cover was also used in the State of California magazine for location scouting for movie making in 2019. It's one magazine per year, and they picked that photo. I'm going to show you all the behind the scene. It was done with Aura HDR. Then I'm going to take you to Beverly Hills and show you this before and after. This was a really tricky retouching. I've never showed that level of retouching even on YouTube. Next, we're going to go to Venice Beach in Los Angeles with this very tricky photo where the white balance is really hard to find on this one. Next, we're going to do a panorama in downtown Los Angeles. This is the stitch photos, and that's the final result. Then we are going to go to the Malibu State Park. This is the before photo, and that's the final result. We're going to go to the Grove in California, doing some night photography. That is the before, and that's the after. You are going to learn everything that I know about photography in this course. Then we go back to New York for my latest book that just came out a month ago, New York in Color, complete new photos, all in color. Of course, we're going to start with the cover. That is a stitch Vertorama, and that's the final result that was used for the cover. Then we're going to go to Central Park, where I came for the foliage. Foliage are really tricky to retouch. This is the before photo, and that's the after, and I'll show you a really cool technique how you can do different variation of color using brushes in Lightroom. Next, we're going to do my favorite photo of Central Park. It was shot years ago. This is the before, and this is the after. Look at this cold feeling of Central Park, one of my favorite. Then I'm going to show you all my tricks about night photography in New York. This is the before, and this is the after, a photo of the Brooklyn Bridge. Last but not least, we're going to do this random Manhattan street. This is the before and the after, and it's one of my favorite photos of New York. Next and last, we're going to go back to Paris for my new and latest book that just came out, my Paris color photo book, completely brand new photos. So we're going to start by doing the cover. Now the cover is a very funny story. My publisher wanted to use a photo that I took years ago that was not usable for the cover. I had to recreate the photo. So this is the before and this is the after recreation. It was very tricky, and it's probably the longest project of this course. Then I'm going to show you my most famous HDR of the Eiffel Tower. This is the normal exposure, this is the underexposure, this is the overexposure, and that's the final HDR. This is being sold at the Eiffel Tower. I'm going to show you the entire workflow. Next, we're going to go into the world of HDR panorama. Crazy. You take different exposures and different framings. So that's the before photo, and that's the final result. But we're going to do a little variation just for the fun with this version. And last but not least, I'm going to show you a day to night technique, really cool, of this photo taken in Montmartre. This is the before photo and the after photo. So lots and lots of projects. Again, you have all the raw files. Then I'm going to show you how you can print your photos at home if you have a printer, different techniques to get the best possible quality. And if you want to do big prints, how to print using outside labs. Then I'm giving you a 45 minutes interview where I reveal all my business secret on how to get published into magazines, how to get into galleries, how to get a book deal, how to get more exposure on social media. This is my most complete course on fine art photography. I should have done this course years ago. We have a great release price for you. Check it out. The link is below the video.